Oh yeah, homies, I'm back. That's right. I started this video once, but started off a little shaky, and I don't like appearing to be bumfuzzled and not knowing what I'm talking about. So we're just starting this one again. Yeah, take two all up in this piece. Oh yeah, I'm back, everyone. Grubgun's here with some pickups. That's right, it's pickups. And I haven't done pickups in a while, so this is this is a long overdue pickups video. So there's gonna be hardware, there's gonna be games, there's gonna be some chat, and who knows how long it's gonna last. I already fucked up 5 minutes worth of bullshit because I was like, oh, I don't know how anything works. And that's not how I want to portray myself to you. I want to be the slick pimp that you know, everyone knows me for. And you know, I'm passing the savings on to you, the home viewer. Okay, so let's start out with something that I got before I went to Victoria. So I was looking for a digital watch, and I wanted an old school digital watch, like from when I was a kid, right? The kind that goes beep, etc. And you know, Casio, Timex, all those old ones, like just an old school digital watch. And I kept looking and looking and looking, and I was like, fuck, I don't really want one of these old school digital watches. Like, I want something more distinct, you know, like they've been making like remake Casio digital watches and shit like that for a while that look retro and shit like that. But I didn't want that, you know. I wanted something more like a distinct looking watch, right? And so I'm searching and searching and searching, and I saw this on the internet. I saw a Swatch Beat, and I was like, okay, well, what the hell is a Swatch Beat? And I did some research, and so Swatch, back in the early 2000s, decided, you know what would be a good idea? Guys, let's have a meeting here and decide what would be a good idea. And then, so they came up with beat time, which is like metric time. So during the day, there's 1,000 beats, you know? Follow me on this. There's 1,000 beats in the day. And what they're going to do is I think the centrally located time for that was somewhere in Switzerland or whatever, where they fucking made the Swatch watch. But so there's not going to be time zones. It's just going to all be the same. So if it's 700 beats in Vancouver, it's also 700 beats in fucking the UK, or the middle of the Soviet Union, or the North Pole, or the Belgian Congo. So they invented metric time. And they thought, boy, this is really going to take off. Well, it didn't. And so I bought new old stock Swatch Beat watch. This thing was brand new in the packaging. And this is the Torino Olympics version that had a special band. I don't know if you can see that. But I don't know if you know this, but plastics from, you know, say 20 some odd years ago, well, this is from 2006. So what is it, 2024? So 20 years ago. Plastics from that era tend to perish. And that's what happened to that thing. It was harder than fucking what was going on in my sweatpants in fucking 2026 or 2006. So yeah, so that perished. So I had to get new bands for my Swatch aluminum Beat. Swatch Beat. And I don't know if you can see that. I'll turn the light on there for you. Look at that. It's 10:09, and at the bottom, I don't know if you can see the time there. It's 756. So it's also 756 where you are. Wherever you are in the world, it's 756 beat time. If you hold this down, I mean, you're never going to see this. If you hold the button down at the bottom, it's going to play this little animation. Is it playing it? It's going to play this little animation of how it's calculating where the beat time is. I don't think it'll focus. I don't think you'll be able to see this, but needless to say, an amazing situation is occurring on the screen, and it's enjoyable to all who see it. Google it. So I got a couple of extra bands, because, like I said, those bands perish. These are silicon, which, you know, ribbed for her pleasure. Am I right about that? No? So this is a really cool watch, and like I said, this thing's fucking massive. Like, it's absolutely ginormous, and the styling of it, if this doesn't scream, you know, early 2000s, I don't know what does. So anyway, I satisfied my digital watch Jones, and that was great. But you know, I think we should all get together and embrace beat time, and never turn back to that horrible 24-hour system that I mean, basically it confuses all of us. How do we know what time it is? You know, let's just round it up to a fucking 1,000 and call it a day. Okay, so a while back, here's some more hardware fucking bullshit for you. A while back, I bought this, the NW, what the fuck, HD1 Sony Walkman with the little dock unit at the bottom. And I really wanted to get this working. I think this thing has 20 gigs of space on it. I really wanted to get this thing working. I'm like, well, fucking this thing's wicked. Like, you know, I think if I take it off, it'll light up the front. Nope. It is fully charged. Is it fully charged? Oh, yeah. It's fully charged. And I really wanted to get this thing working. And I'm like, fuck. Okay, so I'm just going to take it home, drag and drop, you know, files onto it, and I'm going to have a cool Walkman from 2000, and when did this thing fucking come out? 2004? Yeah, 2004. Well, as it turned out, this thing uses a special kind of file, a track file. Now, here's another situation where Sony decided, let's invent something that only you can use if you use our special software and only use it on our products in very narrow field of interest. And so the bit rate on these track files is really high, so it apparently sounds really good, you know, in case people were you know, concerned that an MP3 file is going to sound worse, which, of course, as we all know, it doesn't. So you need to own the CD. First of all, this is how the DRM works on this fucking track thing. You need to own the CD, run it through, what the hell, Sonic Stage, Sony Sonic Stage, and then it converts it to a track file and then puts it on here. So you have to go through fucking hoops to get music onto this. Now, my computer doesn't have a fucking disk drive in it, right? There's no disk anything in it. So I couldn't get a CD onto a Sonic Stage and then on to fucking here. First of all, I couldn't run fucking Sonic Stage on my computer because I couldn't find a file for it. So eventually something popped into my head. It was like, holy shit, Jeremy, wait a minute, you got a fucking old laptop. So I fired up the old laptop. I found a copy of Sonic Stage that I put onto a stick. I plugged the stick into my old laptop, got Sonic Stage running on there, put a CD in. Sonic Stage recognized the CD. I plugged this in. It recognized this, because it wouldn't recognize it otherwise. It just thought it was an external hard drive. But Sonic Stage recognized it as fucking Mr. NWHD1 Walkman. Sonic Stage converted my CD into a track file and I finally got this dirty prick working. It was so exciting watching it convert the CD into a track and then moving it over to here. I was like, this is amazing. Like, I didn't think I would get this thing running, and I spent hours trying to get this thing going. Like, hoops of, like, you know, externally, you know, on different hinky websites, fucking converting things to the AC3 file and whatever, and trying to drag and drop. Didn't work. You can drag and drop them onto the hard drive, but the Walkman itself won't recognize the file, and it won't play it. So, sorry, I had to check to see if my microphone was on. Is it plugged in all the way? Yeah. So this was a labor of love, basically. I had to work my ass off to get this thing going, and of course, you know, am I using it? I mean, no, but the fact that I can get songs onto it is spectacular at this point. You know, it's like this kind of old technology that just, it always screams to me as being like, well, if it worked then, it should work now. Well, no, because it's try and find a fucking working copy of Sonic Stage that you know you can put onto your fucking 2024 computer that just runs. Well, it's hard work. It's not easy. And so anyway, this is exciting. You know, I got my little Walkman, and I was like, oh, well, that's great. You know, I'm going to plug it in and use it and blah, blah, blah. Well, I mean, of course, the hassle of taking a CD, converting it, putting it onto there is a hassle. So, you know, needless to say, it's just an old piece of tech that I got running. And then, so a few weeks ago, I'm out with my sister going to thrift stores, and I found this. Now, I didn't need this. I've already got fucking all the equipment to that does the same thing that this does. But I got this. Check this fucking beast out. Beautiful. Sony, what's the model number? ZS-SN10. And I was like, yeah, look at that. It's a fucking Xiii player, and it's got a radio on it. And then I noticed, I tried it out at the place. It didn't have a cord, but it just takes this hinky fucking regular cord that everything, even including your fucking Sony PlayStation, uses. And I just stole it off something else and plugged it in. And then I stole a CD and put it inside off their CD rack and checked to see if it worked and didn't skip and blah, blah, blah. She's got mega bass. She's got everything. And radio you can play on her. I have a universal remote, and I tried to get the remote working, but I couldn't get the remote to work on this, so oh well. But then I noticed when I was there, a Track 3 Plus MP3, right? So this is of the same era as that a Track Walkman that I have. So they're kind of like best friends. This loves to access track files off of the Sony Walkman. So now I have a companion piece to the Walkman from 2004. I have a companion piece to it that was also, you know, similarly thought, well, like, if people love that track file thing, we here at Sony think that we've done a good thing by making a completely proprietary file format that is so fucking hard to use. But you know, anyway, they bailed on that track file thing, I think 5 or 6 years. But check it out, man. This thing's gorgeous. I mean, nobody can say that this design styling isn't. If this doesn't scream early 2000s, I don't know what does. Am I right, people? Up top? No? So yeah, I got that. And, you know, that and the combination of that and the Walkman, it makes me a happy young lad. So I went to another thrift store. Let's see if I can get this going here. Went to another thrift store and I found a bunch of games. Now, Oh, I know you're thinking, well, Jeremy, games? You mean video games, right? No. Let's take a wander back to the early 80s, where people were like, I'm gonna cash in on Dungeons and Dragons and make fucking tabletop games. Well, I found a bunch of them. Look at this one, the China War. Now, these things are, some of them have like different like campaigns in them for different games, but this one, like most of these, haven't been used. Like, I'm gonna show you. The China War. People were playing that on a tabletop format. Amoeba Wars. And let's open up Amoeba Wars. This one has been played. You can see someone's punched out all the game bits, and there's dice available. You can see they've used the cards, but the rubber band has perished and it's turned into what can only be described as a toxic waste at this point. Amoeba Wars, and these are all complete. In fact, they're more than complete. Look at that. Gladiator. Ho ho! Wouldn't you like to sit down with your fucking friends and play Gladiator? No? This one, let's see what's going on in here. Yeah, people have played that. You can see they're bagged up in old sandwich bags, and some things haven't been taken out of their thing. Like, look at this. This is still an almost completely unpunched character card. So you can enjoy Gladiator at your own leisure. Look at this. John Carter, Warlord of Mars. Look at that. That's unbelievable. And these were like $2 each. Figure that one out. This has another thing in it where it's like Operation Rapid Strike. Completely like disassociated from everything else in any of these other games. I don't know what that's from. But so this, look at this. You can see the card is unpunched, so no one ever played John Carter, Warlord of Mars. And I got news for you. Nobody's ever going to play this. I bought them out of spite, basically, because I knew some fucking vulture had come in and be like, I'm going to buy those, fucking sell them on eBay. These things all go for like $50 on eBay. So, figure that one out. But this is the one that caught my eye the most. Star Trek Xiii Starship Combat Game. FASA. Everyone remembers FASA, who's, you know, as old as a fucking, you know, the Crypt Keeper. But, again, this thing, like, it's all in here. Hold on, I'm going to get you something out. Because all the pieces are still in here. All the starships are still unpunched. Like, come on. Who wouldn't buy that shit? You gotta be fucking haywire out of your mind not to buy that shit. Star Trek Xiii Starship Combat Game. Look at that. Fire photon torpedoes, and it's just got literally like screenshots of Star Trek 3. Take command of a starship and outmaneuver the enemies of your race to gain the victory. Hide in asteroid fields, lay a trap with deadly gravitic mines, or battle for planets in this fast-paced, exciting game from FASA. Or, stack them up, put them on the floor, and fucking leave them there like I'm gonna do. You better believe it. You're only getting one of those. So yeah, I found those games. Like, if anybody can, you know, do a little down in the comments section, if anyone remembers anything about games like that, or, you know, is even slightly interested in that kind of thing, well, go back to your fucking nerd convention. How about that, Poindexter? Get your goggle-eyed fucking face back into your painting D&D figures or whatever you do. I don't know. Okay, well, let's get to the video game part. I know this is the part where people start tuning out, even though you're probably all tuning out anyway. Final Fantasy 16. I finished it. This was an amazing game. Absolutely loved it. The controls are wonderful. The characterization is wonderful. I didn't play the DLC. I don't really want to play the DLC. It's just, you know, after 70-something hours, I'm just like, okay, I'm done. But I highly recommend this game. If you can get this game on sale, you know, in a few years, I would personally engage in that practice. I had so much fun. The music in this game is spectacular. I would love to put the music of this onto this using a track file. Amazing game. I can't recommend this enough. Like, hack and slash gameplay, great storyline. If you're even remotely familiar with Final Fantasy, they stick all kinds of little fun references and shit in. I absolutely love this game. I'm happy I'm finished, but this was a fun game. I only played it like an hour, 2 hours at a time, so it took me a long time to finish, but it's a wonderful game. And I 100%ed it in that I finished all the side quests, I got all of the fucking collectibles, I did all that shit. There are a few trials, I did all the hunts, there are a few little trial things that I never bothered finishing because I just thought, fuck, what am I going to get from this? I'm already level 50. Like, I've maxed out my levels. Like, how is this going to help me out at all? It ain't. That'd probably get me a fucking, what do you call it, reward trophy, and I'm not a trophy hunter in these games. I don't platinum anything. I don't think I've never platinumed a game because I just can't be bothered. So, after that, I was like, oh, I'm going to play Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. Looked really good. Looked like a really interesting game. Like, really interesting concept, really interesting, like, art and stuff that I saw about this game. I got this on Amazon Warehouse deals, so, you know, it's not that bad. Ghosts of New Eden. So I put it in, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to be good. So, let me tell you something. This is who made this game. Don't Nod. So here's the thing about like smaller game companies that make video games. They think, well, you know what we should do? We should be unique. We should have a different control style so that you know, jump is fucking left bumper. Fucking crouch is fucking, you know, down on the fucking D-pad. They instead of everything being like, instead of, you know, trying to at least moderately conform with modern gaming controls, they do their own thing. And let me say, so take a potion was, what was it? Square. Okay, well, you know the buttons that you use on the, you know, the 4 buttons, you know, the buttons that you use on a game controller. So square is like right there. You know, when you're fighting and like dodging and shit like that, and you know, random things of that nature. Square is right there. So say you only have 3 potions, and you're rapidly attacking and in a very stressful situation. Well, you know, you're apt to accidentally hit the fucking square button and use up a potion. And, you know, if you are full health and the game still lets you drink a fucking potion, that's a shitty fucking way of controlling things. So needless to say, I was fighting the controls. And I fucking hate that. That's my biggest pet peeve. Don't make a game don't think we're gonna put our own fucking stamp on this by making every button fucking different than you're used to. And I know I've heard the, oh, Jeremy, you gotta get good. Yeah, well, you can get fucked. How about that? Don't get good me. I'm a pro fucking gamer. Don't get good me. I know how things work. And so after, like, say, oh, and here's another great thing that happens. So you can remap the controls. So I remapped potion to triangle. Because triangle's at the top. You're less likely to fucking play with that. Triangle is usually a button where it's like an interact button. Like it is in this game. So I changed it to triangle. Well, I got up to a point where it was like, take this person's hand. And you are supposed to use triangle to take their hand. Well, it doesn't just remap it to another button or let you use it in a fucking cutscene situation. The symbol that was by her hand was blank. It was blank. It wasn't still triangle. The fucking thing was blank. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just switch over on the fly here. I'll switch to triangle and take her hand. Well, you switch to triangle, and it won't let you. It's like, no, we don't get it. You have to switch all the fucking remap controls back to default by hitting X, and then confirming and hitting X, and then everything you've done is set back to default, and then finally it'll recognize that, yes, triangle will be able to take her hand. Well, at that point, I uninstalled the fucking game. Go fuck yourself, don't nod. Go fuck yourself, Banisher's Ghost of New Eden. Don't fuck me around. I'm going to do more research. And, of course, you try and research the game, and everyone, like, there's always the two sides where it's like, this game is fucking lame. And then the other side's like, I can't believe that this game doesn't get more attention. Well, I'll tell you, the attention that it got was, fuck off. So then I stuck Forspoken in. Oh, look, it's a Square Enix game. So you get into this game and, oh, look, all the buttons are fucking the same kind of buttons that you're used to using. Look, oh, fucking dodge is O. Oh, that's weird. Attack is trigger and right bumper. Magic is left trigger, and left bumper brings up the wheel of deciding what magic you want to use. Like every other fucking game. Don't fuck me around with your stupid control schemes, Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. Just be like, yeah, it doesn't matter, you know, like, fuck it. There are so many different, like, quality of life things in the menu of this where it's like automatically pick up items on the ground. Yes or no? Yeah, sure, why not? Why do I have to manually do that? Like, I don't... Thank you, Square Enix, for doing that. And I figured out, so this game, my biggest fear about this game was that the dialogue is cringe to the max, right? Like, it is cringe. You'd have to be a cringe lord to fucking enjoy. The dialogue is bad. Like, it's like they Googled, like, what would the kids say? Oh, let's put that in the game. So, what I did, I figured it out. You set the dialogue to Japanese with English subtitles. Well, how do you know if it's cringe? I don't speak Japanese. You know, maybe that's fine. You know what I mean? You don't have to listen to the cringe fucking voiceover dialogue of, like, these people saying things like, just, it's cringe. It's cringe lord shit, man. But I figured out how to fix that. And otherwise, it's a really good game. And the good thing about this game is it's fucking short. I don't have to spend 80 hours fucking 100%ing it. I can fucking, in 20 hours, I can finish this game. I'm not going to 100% it, but, you know, at least I can finish it. So let's now go with the regular pickups. I grabbed this. I found this on Amazon Warehouse Deals. It was really cheap, and I'm back on the Walking Dead horse. you know, every once in a while I'll watch the next season and watch the next season, and I was like, oh fuck, I gotta get through this fucking show, right? So I'm on season 8 now, and I was like, oh, didn't they make a Walking Dead game for Telltale Walking Dead game? And I found it on the PS4. It's the complete fucking everything of Walking Dead Telltale. I got this really cheap on fucking Amazon. Yeah, so I'm going to enjoy playing games like this where you don't have to sit down and fucking get good, as it were. You know, you can just get fucking and just chill out and fucking play a game. Sure, there might be consequences or whatever in it, but I don't give a fuck about any of that bullshit. Consequence my fucking, you know, chub. So I was out the other day, a couple days ago with my sister. I found these. Now, these are Wii games, but they're, you know, fucking first-party fucking Nintendo games, so I picked them up. Didn't have to, but I figured, fuck it. It was from Salvation Army, which, you know, generally, like, at this point, I want to start stealing from them because they're fucking idiots. But my sister gets senior's discount there, 10%. Still not, it's not a lot, but it's better than fucking a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. So I have a human coupon that can come with me and get me a discount. So I got these at a discount. Look, it's Smash Brothers Brawl. I had this when it first came out. She's, as you can see, she's boxed and complete, and it still has all the fucking bullshit in it. The gubbins, the Club Nintendo shit is still in it. These discs are all mint. Smash Brothers Brawl. I mean, what the fuck? You know, I bought them out of spite because I knew someone would buy them and be like,
I'm gonna sell these for $50 a piece on Facebook Marketplace because I'm a desperate fucking vulture.
well, now the vultures can go suck my fucking mound. Mario Galaxy. I know it's Nintendo Select, but I'm sorry that you have to look at me holding you know, a fucking Nintendo Select version of a game. It makes me sick. I know it's probably making you sick. I mean, at least the spine isn't red, so we have that much that we could, you know, kind of move past this. Again, boxed and complete, and this is a really good game. I mean, if you haven't played fucking Mario Galaxy, you know, you're basically a simpleton. But really good game. I haven't played Mario Galaxy 2. And if I ever find that, that would be exciting, because I can play it on my Wii U, even though I don't have a Wiimote, and am I ever going to get one? I don't know. But, yeah, I had to buy it, because I was buying it so vultures couldn't get it. And, of course, Mario Kart Wii, you know, you still find copies of this. She is absolutely boxed and complete. I got this when it fucking came out. I got the steering wheel for it. You better believe I did. I even had a, they even gave me a t-shirt because I pre-ordered it. This is a really good Mario Kart game. Can't complain. You know, I think I might even have another copy of it somewhere that I found in Calgary when I lived in Calgary. But these are just going to go fucking get filed over there. It's in my spite pile because I don't like people buying shit here in Vancouver or wherever I am. I don't care if you do it where you are. I don't care if the home viewer does it. But I don't like people buying shit and trying to milk nerds for fucking money. So I found this too, SSX. I remember, I think this was $1. But you know, the SSX games are all really good, including this one. As you can see, it doesn't have the manual, but manual included on disc. So you can do the math on that one. Includes Mount Fuji, exclusive content, most wanted game of the year. I think I played this when it came out. No, I didn't play it when it came out because I didn't have a PS3 till the end of its life cycle. So I know I played it anyway. Found these. These were like $1. I don't know why I got them. You got your Tiger Woods PGA Tour 12. What is this? Including the Masters additional 19 courses, collector's edition. I already have this, but I have the Masters version. I don't know what the difference is. As a completely different cover, but it's still Tiger Woods PGA Tour, or no, it's Masters. I don't know what it is. Doesn't matter. Fuck, it was $1. And then this was with it, and I was like, well, what better way to appreciate the wonders of the PlayStation 3 than to play NASCAR 2011? Well, the game. Xiii is fucking boxed and complete, and Minty is fucking the day is long. Looky there. I'll tell you why this is in such good condition. It's because nobody ever played it. I also found this one. I found this at the same time as I found that boombox that I showed earlier. Copy Alan Wake. Go figure, right? Huh? Xbox 360 Alan Wake. I had this back in the day, but I don't know what happened to it. Well, I do know what happened to it. I got rid of it when I sold everything. But she's in mint condition. It's still got the bonus content thing. Of course, the bonus content thing has been used. But, yeah. You know, if I'm ever going to play Alan Wake fucking 2, I might stick this back in, put it on fucking easy, breeze through it and get the storyline fucking back in the old Domski, and, you know, then play Alan Wake 2 if it's ever on sale. This was a really good game. I really enjoyed this game. So, my Final Fantasy thing, so I was like, okay, listen. What other Final Fantasy games have I missed? And I started Googling it, because I'm going to start doing more research on fucking video games, especially after I got fucking pumped up the fucking ring piece by Banishers, which can basically suck all of my bag in one go. So I started doing the research. I was like, okay, what about like I played Final Fantasy 14 online, and you know there might be a chance that I return one day to Eorzea and enjoy the open world fucking MMORPG scenario that is Final Fantasy 14. You know, maybe I can coerce Brandy to fucking spend a few dollars and get the old subscription back in, you know what I'm saying? And we can ride around on our Chocobo and kill a big guy with he's got horns and kind of a chin attachment. Maybe I'll play 14 again. I have it, I own it, I fucking, you know, all I gotta do is hit resubscribe and my character's gonna be standing there. I looked up Final Fantasy 13. And the reason why Final Fantasy 13 gets such a bad rap is it's really linear until it's not. So you but I mean, the fact of the matter is Final Fantasy 16 is really linear. Until it's, you know, until they open up big huge areas. But for a lot of it is a fucking straight line. So I'm like, okay, well, I really liked 16. Now, so 13 gets a bad rap because of that, because it's very linear. And so I was like, oh, I did a lot of Googling. Trust me, I was a Google fucking monster. Just Googling this. But then I thought, to hell with it. You know, these games are fucking $5. I'm gonna fucking buy them. So, yes, Final Fantasy 13 for the PlayStation 3. The reason why I got the PlayStation 3 version is because sure, I can play the Xbox 360 version on my Series X, but apparently it runs the cutscenes audio, and the cutscenes are at a really like low fucking, I think they're at fucking 480p or something like that. You're gonna correct me if I'm wrong, but the audio is really diabolical during the cutscenes, and it's not during this. So I got the PlayStation 3 version, And I thought, okay, well, Final Fantasy 13, the thing that was $5 on fucking eBay. And then I thought, okay, well, shit, I'm going to get Final Fantasy 13 too while I'm at it, just in case, right? And then I saw that there was a collector's edition of Final Fantasy 13 too. So yes, I got the collector's edition. This didn't cost me much. This was like $20. So 13-2, Final Fantasy 13-2 on PlayStation 3 comes in a collector's edition. I took it out of a sleeve. I'm taking it out of another sleeve. It's double bagged, if you know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, got a double bag up all in this piece. Yeah. No? Comes in this lovely book, I guess you'd call her. You open her up. There's the game. It's got the, that and some other stuff. In the middle, you get concept art. Oh, I love me an art book. But what do I love more than an art book? I think you know what I'm gonna say. Yeah, I loves me a CD soundtrack. 4-disc CD soundtrack all up in this piece. Look at that. That's fucking amazing, man. I can't wait to... There's got a bit of schmutz on it there. This was a good fucking purchase. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. Who wouldn't complain about that? I mean, it is literally... I mean, apart from minor dings, it's in mint condition. And it's boxed and complete. And the next thing you're going to see, you're going to think, God damn, Jeremy, you fucking went all out on that. Well, no, I didn't get the collector's edition of Final Fantasy Lightning Returns, because that thing's like $200 or $300. And I'm not doing that. I'll tell you that right now. But I did manage to find a copy that's sealed. So, yeah, this is a brand new copy of Lightning Returns. So yeah, I've got 13, 13-2, and Dubry Pisser, this one. So I'm ready to use my first gen PS3 again and get into some fucking Final Fantasy action, you know what I'm saying? It may be a while before I do it, but at least I know that when I do commit to it, I can go all the way through and play all of them. And that, as they say, is that. I did get a few things. I don't know if you can see it over there. I've got a Garfield quilt cover from 1980. I also found a, what do you call it? What was that noise? I also got a Lion King quilt cover, like 1990, I think that was from. And a Peanuts pillowcase where they're playing ice hockey. I got those. I'm not going to fucking fish those out and show you because it's just not worth it. I'm still finding good old fucking vintage sheet sets and stuff like that. One day I'll just go through all of the ones I have and make a video specifically about that. But it's just so hard to fucking... how am I going to show a sheet? You know what I mean? It's like fucking massive. I'm not going to do it. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you watched up to this point, I mean, you get a fucking award for that one. And now I can finally put all these fucking games where they belong on the shelf. You better... No, I'm not going to say that. Okay. Guys, thanks for watching. If the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. And always remember... oh! Wait a minute! Bonus footage! I forgot something! Oh, I certainly did! I was talking to Nat, and she's playing Dragon's Dogma 2. Oh my God, this is it. This is exciting stuff. I showed you Final Fantasy 13 before I showed you this. I was talking to Nat. She's playing Dragon's Dogma 2, and I was like, "Well, have you ever played the first one?" And she's like, "No, I've never played the first one." And of course, that drives me absolutely nuts. But I got over it. Took me a few days. And I was like, well, what's Dragon's Dogma? Where did that come out? So I did some research. Of course, as you know, I'm on the old keyboard. Doo-doo-doo. And I watched to see. I saw a review of this game, and I did the research. And so the first Dragon's Dogma came out back in the day, PS3, and then another version came out called Dragon's Dogma Dark Rising that had some bonus content, DLC. And so what did I do? I was like, well, shit, if I'm going to play Dragon's Dogma 2, it actually looks really good. But I'd like to know what's going on because, Mr. Continuity whore. So I spent the $5 on eBay, a Canadian seller. He's a good kid. He's a good Canadian kid. I got Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. And you look inside. I was concerned because most of them didn't have a manual, and of course manual on disc. But so it's boxed and complete. But not only that, look at that, Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, which actually looks pretty good. And if I'm going to be firing up the PlayStation 3, I might as well put the old fucking 20-year-old the thermal paste to the test and play that one too, right? Am I right? No. But look at this. They sent they sent me it came with a note that said, "Thank you for your purchase. We hope you enjoy," underlined, "your game. As a thank you, we have added an extra," underlined, "game. Thanks again and enjoy," it's hard to say what that says, "and enjoy one-stop shop games and more." So, but you can see the person who wrote this has suffered a severe head trauma. But they threw in a bonus game, Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising. And I was like, what the fuck kind of game is this? This is probably one of those games where like you need to play it online and the online services are over. It's a fucking like shooter kind of game where there is a single player campaign, and it's Bohemia Interactive, the same people that made Arma, I think. So, thanks, One Stop Shop Games and More, for this bonus disc, which you couldn't sell fucking for 10 cents in Chinese money, but you sent it to me with Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. So if anyone has any information about, how fun this game is, apparently this is a really good game and it's very deep. And I would imagine that because it's a Capcom game, the controls actually fucking work. So that, as they say, is that. So remember, as I said earlier, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. And always remember to keep your stick on the ice. And also, do research before you buy a game, because you might get fucked over, like with Banishers. And if you think Banisher's controls are fine and everything's good in that game, well, again, the person who wrote this note's probably a good friend of yours. Keep your stick on the ice.